Welcome back to the Daily Grind. What's going on, everybody? All right, real quick, before we get into this, just disclaimer. I have nothing, no affiliation with Pepe, whatever this is, Pepe-Pow. There's just been a lot of hype about it. No, nothing against them. We are just doing this for our protection, right? Make sure there's no viruses in the wallets. I want to make sure everything's good. Now, typically we do this deep dive Wednesday. Today's Thursday. I saw a lot of videos come out, a lot of hype about it. I want to make sure you guys are safe and not downloading the virus. So I brought my man Yeti on with me, and we're going to kind of just go over everything as best we can, rip this thing apart in Wireshark, and make sure you guys are safe at the end of the day. So without further ado, let me bring on my man Yeti, and we will get into it. Mr. Yeti, what's up, buddy?
It's becoming a bit of a habit.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to change the channel name and, put you on the title, because what you've been here all week. Actually, I think literally since Tuesday. It's been 3 days in a row. Crazy. All right, so let me show you guys real quick what this is. So this is that Pepe-Pow shitcoin, right? End of the day, that's what it is, until it isn't. So more or less it says total supply 90 billion. Let me zoom in a bit. As you can see, algorithm meme hash, which is kind of weird, but we'll get into that in a minute with Mr. Yeti. It says the halving interval 129,600 blocks, whatever, each 1 month, 3 times. Says block time 20 seconds, block reward 100,000 PEPEW. All right, so that's that. It's over here on mining pool stats in the new coin section. So if we just go back to home, you click on new coins here, this is where it is. Top coin, 12 days old, 2.77 terahash on the network, and a bunch of hype in YouTube and some fellow content creators, which we need to do our due diligence before we release those videos, bastards. All right, let's do this. Yeti, talk to me. I'm gonna throw your screen up. You good to let me show it?
Yep.
All right, let's see what we find scanning this wallet, make sure everything's good. All right, so I guess just kind of walk me through what the hell we're looking at, because I just work here.
So when I scanned it, obviously there is no actual viruses, right?
Yep.
Now, does that mean there's still not something in it? That's to be debated yet.
Right.
I'm still digging through it.
We're gonna do it live.
From what I can tell, obviously, it's built from Dash.
Okay.
So here's the wallet. It's now finally actually finished synchronizing, but this is very much a Dash thing. Looks very similar to another coin we did yesterday. Obviously, they had the mixing facility, which would be Pigeon Coin, but I know at the moment I say that Pigeon Coin's anything like this, I'm going to get hounded by Retro Mike.
Yeah, no, I hear
you. When I threw this through yesterday, obviously it takes a while to finish doing the behavioral stuff, right? So this runs in like 4 different sandboxes, able to basically tell what the systems are doing. So there was a couple of bits that sort of alerted me that maybe we needed to dig a little deeper into this. And one of them is, let me just find it under here a minute. Here we go. So
can you blow it up a little bit, Yeti? Is that possible? Yeah. That way we can see it a little easier for some folks. All right, there we go. So
this is the bit that bothers me right now, is this bit.
Okay.
The rest seems to be very much along the lines of the rest of the QT wallet systems, right? Very similar files. They're all accessing, for example, this one is to do with WebSockets, so that they can do 2-way communications, net utilities, so they're able to do pings and stuff like that to their nodes.
Yep.
So that's fine. UX theme is for your theme support within Windows. The bit that bothers me the most is this. And that's because effectively, if you have a qt.conf for any other wallet sitting in that location right now, it would be able to load up its variables inside your other Qt wallet. Potentially, I mean, I've never looked deep enough into Qt to see if it can do it, but in theory, if they had a facility to put something in your configuration file that then, automatically pushes it on next load, you can see where we're heading with that one, right? It's a very much a cow style problem again. And again, this could just be something that's left in by the devs, right? They might have missed it, not tagged it out. Doesn't always necessarily mean malicious intent, just maybe more on the lines of maybe that they just aren't familiar with the way that you debug stuff, and then you take out the code that you'd use for debugging afterwards.
Right.
The worry is that would you want to put your money with somebody who doesn't actually, or the devs that don't know how to code? That's also a worry.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess for anybody that, like, in layman's terms, right? So that it's any core wallet. That's a Qt wallet that would be downloaded into your downloads folder. If you open it directly from there. So, like, if you just download it and you fire it right up, that's what he's talking about. Any wallet that's downloaded and fired up directly from that folder could,
Patrick Murphy actually in the chat says it the best way. He says it could screw up if you had multiple core wallet variations or different coins, could irreversibly damage a wallet inadvertently. And exactly.
So Retro Mike says laziness. So this coin, right? Again, there's nothing against this. If it's legit, then hey, it's legit. But let's be real. They're trying to live off the hype of Pepe. They're trying to get rich off of some bullshit. That's what's happening. That's point blank, end of story. That's what it is. AC Mining says, I made $20 over the last day solo mining Pepe-Pow. Wish you guys would stop talking about it. Well, AC Mining. So the issue here is, you could make $100, $1 million in a day. If there's a virus or something wrong with it, unless you're able to cash it out and you make sure it's not, malicious to ruin anything else, then, you know what I mean? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure it's not going to screw you up or screw up your computer or break your other wallets or hack your shit. You know what I mean? That's like the biggest thing. But hey, listen, I hope you guys make a bunch of money off this stuff. Sell it, get rid of it.
If you can make some money on it, go for it. Like I'm all about making, money for doing something. That's not a worry for me.
Right.
The worry is obviously somebody, a bit like what happened with Kaka, the 3 or 4 people loaded up that wallet and then lost everything from another wallet, which, is bad.
Yeah, it stole your seed phrase. Stole your seed phrase out of your other core wallets, which was the problem. So that's how it was embedded into the code. As soon as you download that wallet, open it up, it's now going to infect every other core wallet on this computer. And that's what we're trying to make sure you're safe doing, right? So I guess what else do you have? What are you trying to do now? I know you're just getting into it.
So for example, here, this is part of what I do when I do all my audits, right? So some of this we don't show because it's not exactly, entertainment at all.
Right.
It's very dry stuff, very boring. But so for example, inside of here, I'm looking at this here. So this is probably their master node. And then also you can see here that these two here are on UPnP. So that's probably somebody just running a wallet and it connecting out. And then anything with 8833 is probably a master node. Okay. The bit that's weird is that their master node is running a different version than their wallet. That could, I suppose, be just the way that Dash works, that their master nodes run a completely different version number than their wallet.
Oh, Yeti, real quick, meme hash. Yes. Can you explain the Dash thing? Because I don't think we talked about that at all.
Yes. So they claim that this is meme hash, right? Now, for all intents and purposes, they can call their algorithm whatever they like, but it's a built derivative off of Dash.
Okay. All right. So that's more or less what meme hash is. Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha. From everything that I've looked at in their source code, it's all Dash. And even their wallet has a few features that are very specific for Dash, like the mixing. That is very Dash.
Right. Okay.
So that's what we saw very much like with Pigeon Coin, this mixing system, right?
Right.
That allows to do high anonymity sending and such. So I had to ask Retro Mike about this because I'd never seen it before. I'm not into Dash at all. Not for a very long time. I got out of Dash many years ago. So I had to go and ask Retro Mike about this to understand what it does. So now that I've seen another one, I kind of figured this is a very Dash thing.
Okay,
I'm sure Retro Mike will be able to confirm whether this is more a Dash thing than anything else. But you know, everything that I've seen in here, it mentions Dash by name. So I would guess that it must be a direct fork of the Dash protocol.
Yeah, that's all. I just wanted to explain that to people because we didn't touch on that, and you said Dash. I was like, oh shit, maybe we should explain that part a little bit. All right, so continue with what you're doing. You're talking about you're scanning some stuff. It's super dry to watch and boring, but like again, we're doing this to make sure you guys are safe. It's not.
So you can see here, this is me monitoring the exact TCP port that their node is on. Obviously, the fact of UPnP makes it a little bit awkward because
what's that red one?
So that is.
This is scanning live, by the way, guys. So I don't know what we're gonna find.
So that would be a synchronization flood. No, it isn't. It's a return ACK. Okay, so this is because the UPnP is bouncing around numbers that you can see here, 54139 to 8833. So that is probably, if I go in here.
Can that zoom in a little bit, Yeti, on that white page? I know the wallet you can't, but
what on this? Yeah, on the Wireshark.
Yeah, maybe just so it's easier to see for people. If it's tough for me, I know it's probably tough for them.
Is that a bit better?
Yes, much. Yeah. Thank you. Perfect.
So obviously you can't see what's being sent, mainly because obviously it's all encrypted, right? But what we're looking for is, you know, regular two-way communication that doesn't look normal. So this I've only ever seen happen when you've got UPnP running on something. So I mean, you can see that TCP port numbers reused, right? So what it's doing is obviously they've got a load of different port numbers that they're going to use for their UPnP, and therefore it's cycling through.
Okay. So real quick in the chat, Chris Hanley said Yeti and myself. He said if I install VMware, a VM, I should be okay, correct? And
as long as you are only running that one wallet inside the VM, yes, 100%.
So just isolate it from your other core wallets. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is
right
effectively, as of right now, that's where I would be putting this under the audit system, under issues. So in other words, it passes virus checking, but there are still some issues that I don't feel comfortable saying it's completely safe to use because there is a potential for it to go awry, and we don't know whether that was intentional or just, you know, laziness.
Yeah, again, they're living off the hype of Pepe, so it could absolutely be laziness because they just need to get it out so they can make their money quick. But this is 100%, at least in my opinion, not a HODL coin. Mine it and sell it. Don't friggin' keep it, please. Like if you're gonna get into it, just get rid of it right away. I mean, that would be my opinion, but you guys do what you want at the end of the day. If it doesn't cost you much to mine it, then F it. Do what you want. All right, so what are we looking at now?
So this is their GitHub, right? This is where I go, and like I say, this is normally stuff that I do off camera because me going through file after file after file is not exactly the most entertaining thing.
You want to zoom that in just a little bit, Yeti? Sorry. I'll just keep telling you.
No, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Perfect. There you go.
Me. Most of the time, obviously, just going through hundreds of lines of code isn't exactly, you know, entertainment at all.
Right.
So this is the sort of thing that you guys don't usually see me do. But obviously today we were very concerned that there's a lot of hype around it. Therefore, we want to make sure that, you know, this is.
I want to make sure we're doing our due diligence for you guys, right?
So obviously, you know, under Qt and the wallet folder is all the actual raw source code for the wallet. I've been through a few of these. This is why I'm saying this is very much a fork of Dash's system because everything's still renamed to Dash.
Still says Dash.
They haven't even gone as far as renaming the files, probably because they don't understand how to tweak the builder to work with different file names.
Right.
So that tells me that they've probably not got the expertise level to run a blockchain properly. Like, again, we're just jumping on a bandwagon of a name that's been pumping recently and let's see what we can do. It is interesting they chose Dash to fork rather than, you know, the regular Kapow one that we always see.
Right.
But
probably,
I
I
mean,
mean, is Dash more efficient, or is it kind of like, I mean, it is a little bit, right? No, isn't that like
so,
close to, I mean, BTC can be mined with, like it's pretty close, right, to Dash, if I'm not mistaken, or am I
yeah,
wrong?
BTC is,
Right.
yeah.
So like, I would say it's probably a little less, but
Yeah,
close.
I mean, last time I mined Dash, it was not too bad. It wasn't the most, I wouldn't say it's like stupidly power efficient, like
Hmm.
something like Casper or Dynex that we've seen recently go super off the deep end with efficiency. But Dash always used to be fairly decent. The bit that obviously I want to dig deeper into is around this meme hash. Now, I don't know whether it's a full fork of Dash or whether they've took the basis of Dash,
Hmm.
tweaked it a little, and then called it meme hash.
Right. That's what EtherXE is saying in the chat. They made their own algo, so they have expertise. That doesn't mean they have expertise. So like if
No,
they
it doesn't.
just took Dash and renamed it and tweaked like 3 things, that's not
Yeah,
expertise,
they
at least
could
in my
just,
opinion.
for example, they could tweak, you know, a couple of the variables of how it encrypts, for example.
Mhm.
And effectively, it's different straight away. It's different, and you know, I mean, I know a few other projects that have took other algorithms and just renamed it.
So he said it's not renamed. They made their own stratum too. Is there any way you can confirm that, Yeti?
That I their own
Well,
stratum.
scroll down quick. I want to show him. I don't know if he just showed up, but it literally says Dash in some of those files. But
No stratum.
let's see.
Yep.
Let's
This looks
see.
like this is a MPOS package. So again, this is freely available to download. This isn't. I could knock this up in a weekend, and I don't know anything about stratums at all. Just follow the guides. Like
that's crazy. All right. So that's out of the way. They're not super.
I don't think so.
Nothing
On the
fancy.
fact that, like, you know, this is just the default one. So when I did the Neoxa pool for us, do you remember when Neoxa first come out, I set up a pool for us all to mine on, right? And we had pretty much all of us on there at one point. Hawk had like 20 rigs on there.
I think I was the only one that didn't do it, but yeah, all you guys did it. Yeah,
he was already off at that point.
Yep.
But you know, it took me no more than a weekend to figure out how to set up a stratum and a pool.
Right.
Now, and that's because there was stuff freely available, not for Neoxa, but for Kapow.
Right, and it's just a fork of that. It just kicks it off of that. Yeah.
It's just going to be it's going to be a case that probably they've took something that was already readily available, tweaked it again, got it working. Kudos to Ingenuity to use what's already readily available, add to it, tweak it, put some more in it.
Right.
I would love to. I'll dig around more in their source code after we're off the stream and just make sure that I'm being very respectful with my words, because if they have made a lot of changes, I'll be the first to pipe up in the audit site and actually mention that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's we're not saying they're not smart, but as of right now, it looks like it's just like kind of a kickoff, a dash. Cape Cod Crypto, real quick, in the chat said, just joining, but I watched Rabbit's video on this, and he said a bunch of people reported the core wallets being full of malware. You want to show that a bit and elaborate on that, I guess?
Well, I mean, that's $1 million question, right? Because this is more a virus scanner. I will do the malware scan probably after, because it takes like 7 hours before I even get results.
Oh, really?
Yeah, malware ones are a bit more deeper, that they take about a day to run, which is why usually I do this over a weekend, because by the time weekend finishes, most of the test runs have finished. Something else that I'm actually working on in the background is a way to automate this. So you'll be able to submit a Qt wallet, and my code will effectively run the analyzing for you and give you out all the links and everything.
It would be like a loading bar, like this is how long it takes, you know.
Snark's Domain says, don't all core wallets appear as malware / viruses to scanners? Actually, no. Since I've been doing this, there's only really been 2 that were flagged as false positives, and that was because they had Tor involved, and Tor will instantly red flag anything.
Right, and Tor is the dark web, if anybody doesn't know.
Yeah, Tor's your entry and exit point from the dark web, shall we say. That's the easiest way to describe it.
Right.
And, you know, that's the kind of thing that will get you flagged for whatever reason. But it was more that when I started looking at what its behavior was, is more what starts worrying me. Like the behavior of it loading a qt.conf file from your app data folder. So here.
So what is it normally coming from? Like, what would it normally show?
So normally, right, if this is bad code, you get something like this, where you see the username of the person who actually did it. So that's their developer.
What does it say?
With a name like that, Wanglin. That sounds very, you know, Asian area, more than likely. If I'm not mistaken, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Now that could be that their developer is in China. Doesn't mean they're Chinese. Right. They could have many developers in different locations. You know, for example, I've got 3 developers, and we're located all over the world. So, but this shouldn't be a case that this should not even be here. This shouldn't even be here. This is hard coded to a person's user.
Oh, that's
which
weird.
Won't work. Which won't work because the username doesn't exist on your PC. So this is what's about the lazy part of it, whether or not it's just pure laziness that they haven't took it out yet. And again,
well, it's been around what, 2 weeks? 12 days.
12 days ish. So probably 2 weeks.
Right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
I mean, their last update was what, 3 days ago? I think.
I haven't been to the GitHub at all. I don't even know.
Look, I think it was pretty much 3 days ago. 4 days ago. Sorry.
Okay.
So I mean, they are working on it.
Right.
You know, if you look at how fast between this one and this one, now it could be that this was the one that was virus ridden, and that this one is actually the fix to stop that. You know, so I may actually go back through a different version a minute.
How hard is it to rip that out right now and scan it live? Is that difficult?
2 seconds.
Let's do it. Let's just see, just for shits. I mean, hopefully you guys are interested in this. I know it's kind of like, I don't know, nerdy, right? To like just sit here and watch files scan, but at the same time, again, it's to make sure that we're all safe. I don't want to have anybody download this shit and then something, you know, bad happens to your other coins or something on your computer, you know.
That's the biggest thing for me, and that's the reason why I offered to do this in the first place. It wasn't for anything other than making sure people are safe. Like we hear about so many people. Whoa, here we go.
Trojan malware. There it is. There it is.
There you go.
So
there's
question.
The version that's the problem.
Now, so see how this thing's grabbing that right away. So like obviously I'll have you explain like what this is, but in the new update, can that be hidden somewhere else? Like, I guess I'll let you explain all that once you
that's
rip it
actually
apart.
a good question. Yes is the answer. If it's sensibly packed, and packed means compiled in such a way that it doesn't trigger the way that antiviruses and malware detects, then yes, you can hide a virus in plain sight and you will be able to have it not picked up.
So that's the point of that malware scanner, as you're talking about. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and that's why the malware scanner that I use takes so long, because it actually emulates clicking into the program, opening the program. doesn't just scan it; it actually
Right.
runs in a sandbox environment, and then will give me a huge blown out report on what it's doing, what it did when you started up, what files it was calling, if it paused for any reason, if it was looking up somewhere where it shouldn't be.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, if people want more of the dry stuff included in the audit notes, I'm more than happy to include those. I just didn't know whether, you know,
Right.
if
What's
it's
boring,
not
what's
doing
not.
anything, what's the point in including it? But
Right.
I was debating on if anything like this, for example, which, you know, one
So
version behind gets scanned as malicious.
now, is this done? Is it done scanning? Is that it?
Yeah, because if you look, it was scanned 13 days ago by somebody else.
Oh, I got you. So, all right, can
So
we go to that,
are,
whatever that was? Can you see what it is? It's just a Trojan, but
yeah.
what, I guess, can you explain it a bit?
Let's have a look. Let's see. So this is what
Zoom in a little bit if you can, if you're going to stop.
Yep. Let's have a look. No, hang on. Let's zoom mine in a minute. Do have to excuse the fact that obviously it is in French.
Yeah, well, again, this is a VM, and it's off you know, what is it, a cloud server? Is that how you?
Yeah, it's my cloud server.
Gotcha.
So
So I want to know what would happen to the person that downloaded that version. That's kind of like what I'm getting at. I want to see.
yeah, I think this is probably the version that got people worried and probably had problems with it. So just trying to work out if I can find a page with this data on it.
And now this one, what was it, version 2 or something? So what's that? Oh, let me see.
No, secure failed. I'm not touching that site. Reddit, here we go. Here we go. If it's a false positive.
All right, so real quick, I'm going to show my screen. So this is the one that he just scanned that had the viruses in it. So don't download that. So yeah, that's version 0.2. So
yeah,
version 0.3, again, we still have to do a malware scan for anybody that might be just joining, but that takes like hours, so wouldn't have results till tomorrow or, you know, the weekend. But yeah, anyways, let's go to Yeti's page. All right, so what are you at? You're ready? Reddit right now?
So it's a type of malware that infects a Windows computer. It's part of the whack attack Trojan family, for which is known for its ability to steal sensitive information, download and install other malware, and allow remote access to the infected computer.
Remote access.
Oh, wow, that really is full on.
That's bad.
Oh yeah.
Can you zoom in just a little, Yeti?
Yep.
Sorry.
No.
It's a pain in the ass. All right,
Okay.
so, damn. What is Trojan Win32? Is a malicious software classified as a Trojan. Trojans are designed to infiltrate computers without the knowledge or consent of the user. They often disguise themselves as seemingly harmless files or software to deceive users into downloading and installing them. Sorry, this is like super small. I'm trying to read it. Once the Trojans have successfully infiltrated the system, it can perform various malicious activities, including data theft, remote control of the infected computer, and the download or execution of additional malware. Ooh, that's
and that could be where it's payloading the
goddamn
the file that basically steals other crypto, right? So it wouldn't actually exist in the wallet until you run it, and then it payloads you. So
Panda,
therefore,
sorry, Panda, you better be trolling in the chat. He just said all my crypto is now gone. He said, Pepe never gonna give you up. Pepe never gonna let you down. He said, I'll tweet this out. Yeah, so all right, so version 2 is 100, or 0.2 is 100% scam or
Carl
whatever.
Coe offered a suggestion for the audit site, maybe a score of 1 to 10 for a security risk assessment.
Yeah.
So like a score on 1 to 10. Now the question is 1 good or is 10 good? Or should I rephrase that? Is 1 bad or 10 bad?
I think 10 would be bad. I think 10 would be bad. But we could deal with that at a later date, I guess. All right, so this was the only thing. I mean, this is that sucks. That's pretty bad. But can you go back to the virus total section real quick just to show everybody if anyone's just joining? So that right there, this Trojan malware, whatever, what is it? Whack attack? What it says? Whack attack. So that is the issue, and I will show you guys again. This is the version right here that has the virus in it. Do not download that. This one, as of right now, malware needs to be scanned still, so we can't do that live though, unfortunately. All right.
Well, it takes 7 hours, and I don't think anyone wants to sit here watching me try and debug viruses for 7 hours.
Right. What are you doing right now?
I'm looking up what this other one is.
Okay.
So let's have a look. Scan zip file and birds, Trojan malware.
Financial Failure said, do we know if blocking ports like 3389 help? Also, would it be possible to get an ID, likely IP, on the command and control, he said in quotation, C2 of the malware introduced on the version 0.2? And he tagged you.
That's a good question. If you've got UPnP turned on, then no amount of blocking any ports is going to matter, because they're just going to use UPnP and open up any random port.
Well, it says they can control your computer, right? Right in the as soon as they get in, as soon as that malware is in, right?
Now, if you're talking about if I can get like an actual like full breakdown of the malware that was running in version 2, I can try. What I will have to do is effectively plug it into my sandbox system and try and trick it to think that it's working, and then basically reverse payload it with my own code and see what's happening. So, I mean, that's really in-depth stuff, and obviously, you know, that's going to take days and days to collate all that data. So hopefully I'll have a little bit more for obviously Wednesday. We'll pick another coin, we'll do that, but we'll also do like a bit of a follow-up, shall we say, on the Pepe one, once all of the you know, once everything comes through from the malware check as well.
Well, if you can run it tonight and we can do it tomorrow morning, that'd be sick. That way we just like get right on it.
Absolutely.
That way we know if anybody's effed, right? Carl Code had a question. He said, what if someone uses an exchange wallet instead of like that wallet? The same issues. Yeah, so you wouldn't be downloading the wallet, but the miner, did you run the miner at all? Like, is there a packed miner somewhere that you can rip apart and just check? Or is that
the miner itself? Now, I'm not sure what they're using to mine. Are they using their own mining software? Are they using a pre-packaged one like SRB or something like that to mine?
I just work here.
I
have no idea. You guys let me know.
Miners Club would be easy enough to. Oh, right. SRB mine.
SRB multi. Okay. All right.
So chances are you'll be okay mining it, especially if you're going directly. I would never say mine to an exchange though. However, if there's worry about the wallet and all you're doing is mining it for a profit, then I don't see the problem with using it. Do you know what I mean? As an extra layer of security for yourself.
The only issue, so like Caspa, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Yeti. Caspa, so I guess Trade Ogre told Max Voltage to not solo mine directly to the pool. I don't know if that means don't mine at all to the pool, but he was solo mining and his funds didn't go to his exchange wallet. They actually had to fix it, but they said don't do that anymore because it's not going to work right. And I know some exchanges do say don't mine to the wallet on the exchange because I don't know, who knows what happens in the background, but whatever. Regardless, just yeah, if you're gonna do it for like a coin like this, yeah, whatever. You know, you lose freaking, I don't know, a couple hours of electricity. It didn't go to your wallet, whatever. Not a huge deal, not the end of the world. But I mean, looking at the screen, like look at this virus. Like if you downloaded this core wallet and you got hit with this Trojan malware, then guess what? Like, yeah, that could wreak havoc on your entire system, which would really suck ass. That's at least my opinion. All right. UK Miners Club said, Yeti, can you test the mobile wallet? We don't have unfortunately we don't have the ability to do that, but I think he's working on something.
I'm working on something at the moment. I've had a word with some of my friends who do actually do proper app development, and I'm seeing if they can give me a list of software that I can actually use to diagnose it. If not, I'll even look at potentially asking another one of my contacts whether or not we could build a test suite for doing that exact thing. And we'll see if we can build a test suite that can do all those checks for us. Looking for most common things. Yeah.
That'd be really
the
cool,
test
actually.
suite idea is something that I'm very keen on building, and I'm going to open source it as well. So nobody will be able to say that the test suite that we're running is not legit.
Like we're making shit up, right?
Yep, it'll be open source. The code of how it works, how it tests for it, will all be available to anyone who wants to, download it and contribute. So I know that we've got a few more coders in our community. If they want to jump on board and put some extra, work into it, then it's going to be that way of open sourcing the whole lot. Yeah.
Yeti, can you do me a favor? Can you scroll up and screenshot the virus total thing and just send it to me in a DM? Just that. I want to put that in the thumbnail, like that picture right there. That 2 freaking security virus, whatever. And then if you could just snap the detection as well, like whatever it was called, and just send that to me when you get a second. It doesn't have to be right now, but I just want to have it so I can show that that's what we found in that. Again,
absolutely.
We're gonna have to scan the what's it called?
Because of this version, because there's 2 different versions that give 2 different results, right? So there's version 0.2 and here is version 0.3, which comes back clean. I'm going to have to check both. I'm going to have to, because I'm now going to have to see what the difference is.
Well, you want to compare and see if anything's weaved in somewhere else.
And then that way I can actually find out whether it was just a false positive causing it, or whether actually they had something in there quite malicious in the first place, because we'll have the 2 different versions side by side and I can run a comparison.
Right.
Line by line.
Living off the hype of another coin, it definitely doesn't it makes me real skeptical that it probably was some sort of malicious BS, right? But again, nothing against this coin, we just don't know. And obviously, wait, the Pepe-Pow might have a virus. Yes, Lazarus. So we just proved that the second version did. Sorry, Yeti.
Something that I noticed with Cow, right? When I went over there and told the developer there's a problem, right? And people were in there telling them there were a problem. There was serious wall up, not interested, no nothing. But once I sent him all my documents and said, here's the line that you probably got the problem with, this is what you did. The following day, before I'd even posted my results, there was a new version out with those changes. Now, that to me more said that the guy just probably didn't know what he was doing and had something in there. And then there was that whole, well, did he compile something else in with the wallet?
Right.
Unfortunately, they removed the full version before I got a chance to physically get my hands on it as a source code. So,
well, good thing is you already grabbed this one. So
this one we do. So, needless to say, I am going to grab.
So it's this version right there that he's got. Pepe version 0.2.
Download the source code for here, and then I'm going to run a comparison tool.
Lazarus 0.2 is the one that had the virus in it.
This is the one that if you're running 0.2, do not run it. Do number 3.
As of right now, I mean, number 3 could still have something we don't know. We got a malware scan it, and it takes hours.
Yeah,
so
the malware scan is going to take a while to get done, but the virus side of things between 0.2 and 0.3. So here is 0.2 with 2 out of 70.
Yep.
And then obviously the next version came back with 0. So now we actually have a really good idea of being able to compare 2 versions. And I've just downloaded version 0.2 and 0.3, and then I'll run them side by side looking for what's different. And then we'll be able to tell.
Can you go back to that page where it told us what the hell the virus was? Sure. And just put the URL into the live chat so people can go read it if they want to know what that virus was?
Of course, the whack attack one.
Yeah, this one right here, this page. This is the one I read. more or less.
This is the website that explains what it is, and for anyone who wants to look it up manually, the actual term is that. So it's a Win32 Trojan for whack attack. Now, what's really funny, that means that in theory, the Qt wallet that was for Linux wouldn't have had that, because it's Win32, which means it's only for Windows, not for Linux. So this is why my good friend Mr. Mad Electron only runs Linux, because there are viruses and there are malware for Linux, but it is a lot less than for Windows. So yeah, that's it. To me, this sounds like there's been something, they've almost been caught out, and then they've released a new version to get this fixed.
I'm shocked they didn't take it down though. That's what's weird. Can you scroll down? Is there anything before it? Or no?
A version 1 actually, but it's only source code, which I would guess that probably means they didn't have a Qt wallet at that point. That was see.
There's nothing to scan there, right?
There is, but it's nowhere near as in depth.
Is it worth just trying to scan it and see if there's anything in there?
Problem is, I'm gonna have to compile it.
And that's fine. If you can't do it, don't worry about it. We'll deal with it tomorrow morning.
Compiling tool that they're using, probably C by the looks of that, with a .h files. Interesting. It's more like C. So, I mean, do you know what? I might do a triple. I'll do a triple compare, and we'll see what the differences were between version to version. Now, there is actually a way to do that in the code. So we look at commits, and so version 2 to version 3 deleted Pepe-Pow .pro.user. And now, why is that? Why does it have?
Wait, they deleted that?
Load the differences. Oh, hello. Look at all the lists they removed.
Can you zoom in a little bit? Is there possible or no?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is all the compiling tool, Qt wallet strings, Project Explorer. So this looks like this is where they were unpatching the parts that were related to Dash, probably. Use QML debugger false, use Q debugger true. Here we go. Oh, look. The person who built it was named Andy.
Andy. Quick, Andy's coming. Oh, man. All right. Carl Coates said, good point. They should take that version down 100%. If this is a virus, and get it the fuck out of here. Like, what the hell is it still on your GitHub for? Stupid. Well, I tagged him on Twitter, so hopefully those boobs watch this and get rid of it. But I'm glad we already have the files, so now you can at least, side by side, try to figure out what the hell is going on.
And here's the bit that leads me to think that it is definitely just Dash.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, they changed the actual README, and it says Dash core staging tree.
Where's our Ted? Is he still here? Or Ted, you still here? You see that?
So
interesting. Yeah, we talked about this a little bit before, but it was Dash. But yeah, that's kind of interesting, to say the least.
Steve Crypto says that's the Qt template file. Yeah, it does look like it for building. But yeah, I'm just looking through these commits, and I don't actually see any commits that would change the way the virus total system would work, which would lead me to think that if there was something built on top, you could compile it in at time of compiling.
Okay.
Somebody is echoing Yeti.
Yeah, so Lazarus said, Yeti, for someone who might be interested in the academic side of this, how would someone, and he put in quotations, not me, it's really sus, I think it's you now, go about making the worst possible crypto wallet? He said, like, besides a wallet drain, also like fry your CPU.
Oh.
I don't know if we want to really explain that though. That's probably not a good idea to talk about. Lazarus, that would be a special conversation, but I don't think that's proper to talk about. I thought that was like a question, like a real question, and then I understood what he was asking.
If you're interested in like security auditing, or you want to get into like what would be classified as ethical hacking, which is effectively what I get into when I get really into it, like, but there is a fine line between ethical hacking and non-ethical hacking. Usually it comes down to whether or not you've been invited to do it. So
right, Joker Miner, yet he doesn't have headphones on, if you can see. Yeah, no, it's just it's sometimes when we talk at the same time, you can hear it through his mic, like me echoing or whatever. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. All right, anyway, so yeah, is there anything else that we can rip apart right now while we're live, or should we just focus on maybe tomorrow morning, hopefully running that malware thing? Actually, can you get that up and running now, or is it something you have to do offline?
Usually that's done offline, because I normally push that towards my server to do, because
don't worry about it. It's fine.
It hammers the hell out of my rig.
Right. No, that makes sense. All right. So does it give you an estimated time when you start running it, or no?
Usually when I do a normal one for a normal core wallet, so for example, Pigeon Coin, that took 4 hours to push out a report. Now,
I'm hoping it's pretty quick because it's such a new, you know what I mean? So
yeah, there isn't a lot of data to have to verify, like version to version, which is, I suppose, a good thing. But yeah, literally, I can't see. There's nothing in the source code, right, that mentions that there was an update 4 days ago. There was only a recompiled version, which leads me to think, right, so when you compile a program, it takes all of these files, right, and then makes it into an executable, right? That's it in a nutshell. However, what you can do, and this is where it gets into the realm of having to understand what it's doing, but you can tell it to inject other pieces of code into the pre-compiled version. So your source code will look completely clean, but the outputted generated file that's been compiled could be completely virus ridden. And that's the bit that gets a bit tricky. You know?
Gotcha. Guys, that like button, 30 likes, 95 people here. Jeez Louise. I know you guys are at work, but come on, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeti, is there anything else that we could show, or do you think this is pretty much it?
I mean, look, here's my take on it. A, this thing doesn't even have a white paper. 2, doesn't even tell you what it's doing. What's it for? You know, like, I mean,
if you say C for the third one, there's going to be a Home Alone reference for sure. You ever see Home Alone, and he's like, he says 1 and then he says B. Like, that's what you just did. Sorry, made me laugh. It was just funny. All right. Yeah, no, I looking at the site, there's like nothing to click on either, to be honest. It's just kind of total shit. There's nothing there.
Discord, Twitter, and a block explorer. There's no nothing. Like, for me to get involved in anything, right, I want to be able to know what I'm doing with, you know, my power price is not exactly cheap over here. So if I want to get into something, it better be right.
Right. Literally just download wallet. Like, there's nothing. There's nothing here to click on. GitHub, Discord, Twitter, Explorer. What the hell is
Patrick
Explorer?
Murphy makes a good point. And the qt.conf could be the open vector to allow it to do its thing. Yes, correct. Because you could what's called lazy load it. So you store it in the qt.conf file, and then when that malware executes, it's looking for that qt.conf file. So,
gotcha.
So Pirate says it's a meme, it has no purpose. Then please explain Dogecoin.
Yeah. Well, I guess Dogecoin is what, the first
Technically,
meme?
that's a meme coin.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's the original meme coin.
The OG meme.
It actually has now actual utility.
Yeah.
Mainly because of Elon Musk, but it actually has utility. Therefore, you can't just say it because it's a meme, it has no value and no use. Like that's the thing, right? I prefer to have something with a utility value.
Right. Yeah, not saying we don't disagree. I mean, we don't agree, rather. It's yeah, I don't know. All right, you want to just show that one more time, that virus scan thing, just showing the 2 or whatever. So
for anyone who's turned up late, the Pepe Coin wallet version 0.3 is the one that you want to download. Please do not download version 0.2.
This one.
Do not download that. And I would highly recommend not downloading the first release either, because if the second one is not good, then the first one probably isn't good either.
Yeah, so definitely virus here. As of right now, no virus here, but we need to do the malware.
But we need to do the malware check.
Can you go back to the other one? So this is that's number 2. That's version 2 right there. It's got 2. More or less, is it kind of like a backdoor, that Trojan thing? Because it said it could take over your freaking computer, right? That's the thing I have pinned up there. That is the virus that was in it. I put it in the live chat. It's pinned to the top. So this one right here.
So here's a bit more about Whack Attack, right?
Yeah.
So Whack Attack usually is used with I wouldn't even say sophisticated, very, very basic social engineering platform for hacking people, right? So that'll be phishing emails, phishing websites, that kind of thing. We'll hit you with a Whack Attack malware, and then effectively you're screwed, because they have full complete control. I mean, if you know what you're doing, you can unpick Whack Attack. It's one of the few out there that does actually have a mechanism to be removed. You know, you've got to know where it all lives, but it's one of the reasons why Whack Attack is very picked up very quickly, because it's very easy to unpick. So
yeah,
just my sensible option. If you really do want to mine this, just put it on a VM, put it in an isolated environment where you don't have to worry that any of your other coins are going to go walkabouts, get hacked, removed, lost, stolen, all of the above.
Yeah. So that's it, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Yeti, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you coming on like last minute. I just kind of grabbed him. So hopefully you guys learned something today. Hopefully that was helpful.
I wasn't expecting to be on today, chum. That's
I know.
why.
I know. I like just got home with the kids and I was like, oh, they fell asleep. Perfect. I'm like, Yeti, you want to come on? Because this Pepe-Pow needs to be ripped apart right now. We need to see if there's something malicious in it. Because obviously, again, there's just been so many videos and hype about this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't want to. I just had a feeling that something bad was going on, and I'm glad that the version 3 as of right now seemed okay for like just the regular scan. But we'll find out tomorrow.
It was one bad apple in their dev team that might have been just trying it on.
Panda, there's been more videos. Go look in my community section. You cock.
Probably the funniest thing was this morning Dynex decided to post out. Did you see the Twitter feed this morning?
No.
Your Twitter feed blew up, mine blew up, because Dynex decided to post out the audit website again on their Twitter feed.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, if you want, throw the website in here. I have to freaking save that, actually. I got to put it in my favorites. But yeah, so we got an audit website. Again, Deep Dive Wednesdays. Typically, that's when we do it.
And also, I saw something else as well that I want to mention, because I've been blamed for it now, and I definitely want to say something about that. I do not have that much sway to push a Pigeon Coin 800% up for the day.
You know what? Panda sent me that about it being what's it called? Yeah, being pumped, and I was like, I just said you're welcome. That's all I said to him. I don't think that was us though with the whole Pigeon Coin thing, but
oh god, no.
Again, when it comes to the whole Deep Dive Wednesday thing, it's more or less just kind of going into some coins that people might not really know what they are. Like, I didn't know what Pigeon Coin was until I actually looked at it. I thought it was just a bullshit meme coin that was hysterical.
Me too. Me too. I thought I was going to get a 30-minute good roast on Retro Mike, and I was like, I can't roast him now. Like, it's actually all right.
Yeah, it was a legit thing. I mean, hey, shit, if it's it really is just the name. I really feel like if they had a different name, that could be a Twitter competitor, I guess, in the crypto space, which is kind of weird. I just thought someone was walking behind me when I looked at your camera. I was like, what the hell? It just screwed me up. All right. So, Joker Miner, I want you to call out Red Panda about the lipstick. Yeah, what the F, man? You're the worst friend ever, by the way. Did you see why? That lipstick thing? So, when he went on, apparently at the end of his stream before he rated us, the Dynex thing, so the saturation's high on that thumbnail. It looks like my lips are super red. And I was like, listen, all right? You judging mother effer, all right? God damn it. You're the worst friend on the planet. And anything's acceptable in 2023. Didn't you know that? God damn it. All right, guys. Anyways, I'm getting out of here. I gotta wake the kids up. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just going to say, Panda actually, you know, I even pulled him up on Twitter about it, you know, about him wanting to identify literally as a red panda.
He should at this point. Or a goddamn troll. How about a troll? A red troll. So I identify you as, you bastard. All right, guys. Love you all. Hopefully this helped out. Thank you so much again to my man Yeti for showing up and giving us some help. And yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So let me know what happens and if you can do it live with me tomorrow morning.
Recap on Wednesday.
Yeah, we could do a recap on Wednesday, but the malware thing, if you have malware and you can, yeah, if it's like legit something wrong, then let's go live tomorrow again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because let's blow this shit up. All right, fellas, ladies, everybody, love you all. Appreciate you. Have a good night. Enjoy your Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow morning bright and early. Peace out.